Baseball is a sport where 5'6", 150-pound Thomas William Leach stood tall and made a name for himself in the early years of Major League Baseball. Leach was born in French Creek on November 4th, 1877, and was a direct descendant of Alexander Finley, the founder of Finley Lake. His family moved into Chautauqua County in 1811 and to Finley Lake in 1815. Leach, who was nicknamed Wee because of his small stature, lived in French Creek until he was about 5 years old when his family moved to Cleveland in the early 1880s. He was one of the first major leaguers to reach the 2,000 hit plateau as he played 19 years with the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Chicago Cubs, the Cincinnati Reds, and the Louisville Colonels in the National League. His outstanding career was made mostly with the Pirates, as he is 9th in games played, at-bats, runs, and singles, and was 6th in stolen bases, and 7th in triples. Leach joins Willie Stargell from 1971 to 73 and Ralph Kiner from 1946 to 52 as the only Pirates to ever lead the National League in home runs. Now, he led the home runs with 6 in 1902, and what was so unusual about this was that all were of the inside-the-park variety, as he was blessed with excellent speed. The home run total was the fewest ever hit by a leader in the National League. Also that year, he led the league with 22 triples, placed second with 85 RBIs, en route to a .278 average while playing 134 games at third base. He usually battled third ahead of Hall of Famer Honus Wagner. Now, Leach finished his career playing the third most games at that position for the Pirates, with only Hall of Famer Pie Traynor and Richie Hebner playing more games. Besides playing third base, he also performed in the outfield, second base, and shortstop during his career. And in 1903, he was second in the league with 7 more inside-the-park home runs and delivered 17 triples as the Pirates became the National League champs and advanced to the first World Series ever against the American League champion Boston Pilgrims. Leach scored the first ever World Series run during the 4-run first inning, while he tripled and scored on Wagner's single in the 7-3 road win. That was the start of a 4-hit performance against Hall of Famer Cy Young, who helped the Pilgrims capture the title with 5 victories in 8 games. Leach finished the World Series with 4 triples, which is still a record for the Fall Classic, and batted .273 with a team-high 7 RBIs. He got a brief taste of managing at a young age of 26 as he was named interim manager of the Pirates for 6 weeks in 1904. Now, after just hitting 300 in 1903, Leach didn't have another stellar season until 1907 when he batted .303 with a career-high 43 steals and 166 hits in 149 games. That was his second 300 season as he stroked at .305 pace in 1901 in only 98 games. Led by Leach's .320 average, the Pirates captured the 1909 World Series in 7 games over the Detroit Tigers and Hall of Famer Ty Cobb. 4 of his 8 hits were doubles, and he scored 8 times. After playing center field and leading the National League with 126 runs and having 29 doubles during the regular season, Leach was switched to third base in the World Series opener, but the regular third baseman was injured in the first inning. Leach was traded to the Chicago Cubs in 1912 and then went to Cincinnati in 1915 and returned to the Pirates in 1918 at the age of 40 because of the shortage of players due to World War I. He batted .194 in 30 games to finish his 19-year career with a .269 average. He was ranked 27th among the top 100 players to ever play for the Pirates by the Pittsburgh Pirates Encyclopedia. He was rated ahead of such Pittsburgh stars as Dick Groat, Manny Sanguillen, and Tony Pena. In that same publication, baseball historian and author Bill James listed Leach as the 20th all-time finest third baseman. Among that group were Hall of Famers George Brett, Brooks Robinson, Eddie Matthews, and Mike Schmidt. Tommy Leach died on September 29, 1969. He was selected for induction into the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame this year. Accepting the award on his behalf will be Rebecca Brummagem.
On behalf of the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame, I'd like to present you this plaque and ring. And I understand you're going to display it up in a museum in Finley Lake?
Finley Lake and Minot Historical Society.
Right. Very good.
My name is Rebecca Brummagem, and I'm with the Finley Lake and Minot Historical Society. And the first I knew about Tommy Leach was when Greg Peterson, and I think most, if not pretty much everyone in this room knows Greg Peterson, introduced me to him. One day he said to me, "Do you know that there's a Major League Baseball player from your corner of Chautauqua County?" And I said, "No, I didn't know that." And he actually told me that not only was Tommy Leach from French Creek, but also that he was a descendant of Alexander Finley, as you heard, the founder of Finley Lake. So Greg asked me if I would consider making this nomination of Tommy Leach. And in turn, he did a presentation to our Historical Society about Tommy. I really think maybe he got the easy part of the job. Actually, Greg recommended that I take a look at a book that I brought with me this evening. It's called The Glory of Their Times. It's about baseball and the early players in baseball, and it includes 26 of the premier players from the early years. Tommy Leach was actually listed as number 2 in this book. They're not in rank order. He was just the second person to be interviewed. And the thing that impressed me the most as I was reading the book was how down-to-earth he was. And it really made me think that his small-town Chautauqua County roots were there, because he really was like just a regular kind of guy, a rural kind of guy. I also became acquainted with Tommy's style through a gentleman with the Historical Museum in Haines City, Florida. After Tommy retired from Major League Baseball, he settled in Central Florida, but baseball was in his blood, and he was instrumental in starting the Florida State Minor League Baseball. And he coached the Tampa Pirates and other teams in Florida. He died at age 91 and lived a full and interesting life. Mike O'Neill, the man I met from Haines City, describes Tommy as a gentleman and a fierce competitor. They played snooker together, and Tommy died in 1969, and Mike says that Tommy never cut him any slack. He was always out to win. Jim Riggs, the sports editor from the Post-Journal, has done a terrific job of featuring Tommy in various articles over the years. He's helped keep Tommy's legacy alive, including the fact that Tommy Leach was considered to be one of Pittsburgh's big 3, right up there with Honus Wagner and Fred Clark. He was a star baseball player for that early Pirates team. Through numerous other sources, including the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, I've pieced together additional information about Tommy's life. Tommy carried with him the values of the people of Chautauqua County. He was a family man. He loved living in a small community, and he gave of himself to his community. It's incredible that this small, wiry man still ranks very high in Major League Baseball standings. He has earned my respect not only for his Major League Baseball accomplishments that have stood the test of time, but also for the simple manner in which he conducted his life. He was a man of national acclaim, a man who, because of his skill, agility, and passion for the game of baseball, holds a special place in that world. But more importantly, he lived a meaningful life with a generous spirit that enveloped his family and neighbors. On behalf of the Finley Lake and Minot Historical Society, I'm honored to accept this award that belongs to Tommy Leach. Our Historical Society will keep Tommy Leach's memory alive in our Heritage Room. And my good friend Greg Peterson, who leaves no stone unturned, has been able to access the original 4-hour audio tape interview that Lawrence Ritter did with Tommy Leach in 1964. And Greg is going to make that available to the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame archives. In closing, I'd like to thank the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame Board of Trustees for honoring this very special man, a man who has his roots and early years in Chautauqua County. Thank you.